Welcome back. You're still tuned into MF Corner, where we focused on the mutual fund investment trends with Gen Z. Let's now focus on saving habits of young Indians. There's a recent report by Nielsen and Fin One by Angel One that shows that 80% of millennials and Gen Z save 20 to 30% of their monthly income, and nearly 4 in 5 individuals primarily save money to invest for financial securities. To understand more about the contours of this report and more, let's discuss it with Paarth Dhar, the Vice President, New Growth Opportunities at Angel One. Paarth, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, it's a very interesting report. I just wanted the key takeaways. What stood out for you? How many people did you sample here? And what's the biggest takeaway?
Thank you for inviting us, Sonal. Excited to share some of the insights that we have uncovered over the past few months. So Fin One is an educational initiative by Angel One that primarily works with young Indians to educate them more on financial planning, some of the investment assets that they are going to scout for, and charting their journey better. We recently did this survey to understand this user better, their savings habits, their investing habits, their preferences. The data partner for this survey for us was Nielsen. We surveyed about 2,000 folks and got qualified results for about 1,650, if I remember it correctly. The user data actually spans across various demographics, income brackets, and spans the age group of 18 to 35. So it covers people in college, people who just started earning and are in the early phases of their career. So Gen Z, as well as some of the younger millennials. I think one of the biggest data points as far as saving habits is concerned that was shocking for us, of course. A lot of folks consider Gen Z to be probably reckless in their spending and investing habits, but a lot of them are consistent savers, right? 80% saving about 20 to 30% of their monthly income. And remember, early on, their incomes are not as much as what you would expect them to be. So a significant portion is already going into expenses. So that was a very heartening data point that we uncovered. One of the other things that people also often focus on is goal-based saving, that I would want to save for a car or for a trip or for some of the other materialistic goals that probably we consider to be important for this age group. However, the data shows that most people actually invest for a sense of financial security in the future, as well as to fund future investments. So it is extremely forward-looking and a very financially mature take that people are already aware of these things way before. We can't really compare between how it was, I think, and a generation earlier. Also, another interesting data point for us that we uncovered was even the folks that are 30 above identified that they first started investing at the age of 20 to 25. So right out of college when their early incomes and early careers started. So some of these trends on savings were very interesting. Most people identified themselves as consistent savers. They had very hygiene checks when it comes to maintaining separate bank accounts. They understood the fact that they needed to keep investment options and even savings diversified across. So yeah, I think more to speak about. Happy to
Yes.
answer pointed questions.
Oh, no, yes, absolutely. Because, the idea was not that maybe Gen Z is not saving enough, maybe they are spending recklessly. So this report does suggest that that's not the case. They are very, very mature with their investments. So let's delve deeper into this. What are some of the, I would say, features, or I would say the factors that impact their investment choice? Is there some number to that?
Yes, of course. I think when it comes to investments, the biggest thing that we covered was the fact that why I would want when it starts for a particular person. So one, of course, they're starting off early, which is that 20 to 25. About 40% of folks start when they are in that early zone of their career. One, that means they get exposure to information and these asset classes way early than probably their earlier generation did, right? In terms of asset classes and their ranking, we asked everyone what is the most preferred investment asset class that they look for. And surprisingly enough, or not surprisingly enough, stocks came out as the top choice. About 45% of the audience rated stocks as their number one investment first choice, followed by mutual funds, which I think came out about 25%. I think then we delve deeper into the reason why they would actually look for a particular investment class. The top two reasons came out to be flexibility along with higher returns. So yes, there is a direction that they are actually looking at chasing higher returns as opposed to lower risk. And yes, the flexibility of, say, for example, lower ticket size or an SIP, sort of, and on that front, liquidity as well. That as an asset class, because stocks are liquid as opposed to some of the other folks on that particular list, that became a top choice for these folks.
Okay, so they are looking at flexibility and high returns. That's neck to neck, according to the data that you have provided.
Right.
So now that you've said, because it's a different era, we are not comparing it with how the earlier generation invested as well. That time there was a lot of real estate, a lot of physical assets as well. Now that's changed, become very digital. What are some of the sources from where they are getting all this education? We have been in an era of this big social media boom. What are some of the go-to places for young Indians?
Got it. Overwhelming answer, one platform, YouTube. About 62% folks actually reported that YouTube is their preferred choice as far as gaining access to financial information is concerned. The other as well, largest platform came out to be Instagram. So these are not mutually exclusive numbers. Instagram came at about 50 odd percent. Even if we assume an overlap between YouTube and Instagram, that's just social media, I am pretty sure that will cross 75% of the total number. Yes, people seek information from their first degree network, from their friends, from their trusted advisors and family, along with some of the online education portals that have come up as initiatives. One such initiative is something that we run at Fin One, where we're trying to provide information free of cost, verified and authorized to young Indians.
Okay, all right. So YouTube, Instagram, financial influencers, they continue to rule the roost here. What does the, in the sample size that you had, did you have a split between males, females, and the age that you had seen earlier? Is that data available? Just wanted to understand female investing patterns. Is there some trend that we're seeing there as well?
Well, not specifically. We will deep dive in subsequent reports on that particular front. But yes, there was a healthy ratio of male-female split across about, I think, 70 to 30% that we maintained as far as this demographic is concerned. The deeper insights when it comes to unlocking insights at a gender level, at a tier demographic level, or even at an income bracket level is something that we will disseminate in the subsequent reports that we are going to publish.
That is a different conversation than we'll have altogether. But Paarth, wanted to understand that when we come to the idea of investments and, looking at flexibility and returns, we need to review the investments that we have made as well. How often is the young Indian doing that, or they invest and they forget it and it's for a long-term period that they plan these investments?
No, I think they're fairly active on that front, pretty evident in the data. About 53% review their monthly financial situation and even goals, whether they're tracking towards it or not, monthly. So that's a majority that does it monthly. They're about, I think, about 30 odd percent, or covering about 90% view it actually quarterly, and then about a 10 odd percent that looks at it at an annual level. So very actively tracking, using automated investment apps where you're able to park money, or be able to set up SIPs, or even able to track your portfolio. And they've taken to online and digital platforms vehemently. A majority of them actually have started using that.
Okay, very interesting. So they are basically looking at reviewing the investments they have made as well. Other than stock investments and mutual fund investments, are they looking at other classes There's so much coming up now, right? We are talking about Bitcoin, seeing that big rally. There's real estate, there's gold. Are they interested there?
I think can't really comment on certain other investment areas along with market factors, as you were probably hinting to. But yes, relatively as opposed to a stocks mutual fund, then followed by savings or FDs, which are fixed income assets. Real estate or a bond, sort of an investment asset class, ranks a little lower. Could be one of the reasons tying back to higher returns, to be honest, along with flexibility. Could be lack of information. We are not very clear on it, but I think just because they're probably much more exposed and educated about the investment classes of stocks and mutual funds, and then identify sort of diversification. I think that became a natural choice.
Okay, all right. And of course, we mostly talk about stocks and mutual funds because, as you said, gives more flexibility. The returns have been different as well. Not saying always higher, but yes, this is a category which everyone speaks about very often. Paarth, a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining in today and giving us all those insights and a sneak peek on what goes inside the minds of young Indians when it comes to investments across asset categories.
Thank you, Sonal, so much. Hope to speak and uncover more insights in the future.
Okay, all right. That's the word coming in on where young Indians are investing, how they're saving, and a lot more. But that's all we have on the show today. Stay tuned for Closing Bell to take you through the last hour of trade.